The method I'll be using for this equation is called completing the square. So first you're going to want to make the right side 0. Negative 5x, negative 5x, 8 squared minus 16x, you combine the terms, plus 6 equals 0. Afterwards you want to divide by 8 because the a has to equal 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1, so it's x squared minus 2x plus 3/4 equals 0. So afterwards you're going to want to subtract 3/4. So it will be x squared minus 2x plus, no, just x squared minus 2x equals negative 3/4. Afterwards you're going to want to do the b squared. So a equals b equals 2, negative 2. So this will be negative 2. The negative 2 will become a positive. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Right here you're going to want to add 1. Add 1. It'll be x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 1/4. Afterwards, you're going to want to do the x method, which is something that adds and subtracts, multiplies. So it'll be negative 2 and positive 1. That's negative 1, negative 1. Then afterwards, when you get those two numbers, you want to x minus 1 parentheses squared equals 1/4. You're going to square root both of them. X minus 1 squared equals square root 1/4. Square root of 1/4. The square root of 1/4 is 1/2. Square root of x minus 1 to the power of 2 is just x minus 1. And the answer is going to be either a positive or a negative. So then x minus 1 equals positive. Well, you don't have to write that, but yeah. X minus 1 equals negative 1/2. So then you're going to add 1, add 1. So that's equal x equals 1/2. And for the second equation, it would be x minus 1 equals 1/2 plus 1 plus 1. X equals 3/2. And that is the end of it.
Using factoring to solve this equation. So you want to subtract 5x from both sides. You're going to get 8x squared minus 5x minus 11x plus 6 equals 0. Next, we'll combine like terms. You're going to get 8x squared minus 16x plus 6 equals 0. But since this value doesn't equal to 1, you have to multiply it by the 6. So you get x squared minus 16x plus 48 equals 0. Then you want to use the x method. You're going to get 48 at the top, negative 16, and it's going to be negative 4 and negative 12. So then x minus 4 and x minus 12. You're going to divide by 8 because you got rid of the 8 over here, so you have to bring it back on this side. So you're going to get x minus 1/2 equal to 0 and x minus 3 over 2 equal to 0. You just have to add 1/2 x equals 1/2. That's your first answer. Do the same over here by adding 3 over 2. And x equals 3 over 2.
I will be solving using the quadratic formula table. First, I'm going to subtract positive 5x to get on the other side in order to plug in to the formula. Now I'm going to add the like terms. Next, I'm going to write a, b, and c on the side to make it easier. Now I'm going to plug everything into the quadratic formula. Now that everything is plugged in, I'm going to simplify the top of the fraction. Now I'm going to subtract everything inside the square root. And then the square root of 64 can be simplified to 8. So it's a perfect square. Now I'm going to put x equals 16 plus 8 divided by 16, or x equals 16 minus 8 divided by 16. Because of this, the plus or minus. And this would equal x equals 3/2, or x equals 1/2. And these are my final answers.
And today I'll be showing you how to solve a quadratic equation through graphing by hand. So only things I will be used is this marker and a calculator. So first thing you're going to do is subtract the 5x from both sides so that the quadratic equation can be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the standard form for a quadratic equation. So this will be y equals 8x squared minus 16x plus 6. And to find the value of x, it will be x equals negative b divided by 2a. So that being said, x equals, this is the value of b, but it's going to become positive because a negative times a negative is positive. So it's going to be 16 times divided by 2 times 8, because 8 is the value of a. So then this would be x equals 16 divided by 16, which would be x equals 1. So then we plug the value of x back into the original equation, or the equation in standard form. So this would be y equals 8 times 1 squared minus 16 times 1 plus 6. So then simplify this, will be 8 times 1, or 1 squared, which is just 1, so this is just 8. And then it would be negative 16 times 1, and so this will still be negative 16, and then plus 6. So then y equals 8 minus 16, negative 8 plus 6, which is y equals negative 2. So our value of x is 1, and our value of y is negative 2. And so these points will be the vertex. In the vertex, for example, the vertex will be the maximum point or the minimum point in a quadratic equation. And so these are the coordinates. If we wrote it as coordinates, it would be like this. So then you'll make a table graph, and you start at the value of x that we have, which is 1, And then you can go two values up and 2 values down. So this would be 0 and then -1 and 2 and then 3. And so -2 is the starting point for y, or the vertex, not necessarily the starting point. So these are the vertex. So remember, you're going to go a few digits up and a few digits below. And then the x values, you're going to plug in towards the x. So the 8 times x squared and the -16x. You're going to plug these numbers into the x value to figure out their y coordinate. And so after doing that, these are the coordinates. And this is what a quadratic equations table graph should look like, because you want it to be after the vertex, you want the y coordinates to be the same but the x to be different. And so when graphing this, usually the vertex, you want to graph the vertex first. So 1, -2. 1 on the x, oh, this is x, and this is the y. This is the x and this is the y. And so it's 1 on the x, -2 on the y. And then 0, x, and 6, y. So this is 0 and 6. And then we already did our vertex. So we did this one, we did the vertex. And now you want to do 2 on the x and 6 on y. This is x, so 1, 2, and then 6. And so you want to connect, and so then you want to connect these as a parabola. And remember, a parabola is like this. There's either a minimum or a maximum. Either minimum or maximum. And in this one, there's going to be a minimum. Our vertex is down here, right? And it's not up here. So we're going to connect these. Make sure they pass through. They connect through the vertex. And a parabola is infinite, so it goes on. And so we want to label these. So this is 1, -2, 2, 6, and 0, 6. And right here, these 2 points right here, where the parabola crosses or where the parabola intersects the x line, are the roots. And roots are basically the answers to a quadratic equation, or the solutions. So these points are 3. These points are 3/2 right here, and 1/2 right here. And this is 1.5, and this is 0.5. So those are the answers. Thank you for watching.